Hi everyone. Today in this session I am going to discuss to you the small topic called wines. It's just an introduction about wine. In that we are going to cover classification of wines, the factors which are affecting a winemaking, and the serving temperatures of wine and food pairings. This actually we are going to discuss today. What is actually a wine? Wine is defined as it is an alcoholic beverage obtained from the freshly gathered grape juices through the fermentation process. Then there will be a next question that what is a fermentation? So fermentation is a process in which sugar is converted into alcohol. When yeast is added to any sugar containing liquid, it reacts with sugar and that will convert into alcohols, and the byproduct will be carbon dioxide. This fundamental process is called fermentation. If this liquid, the fermented liquid, if we are allowing them to contact more time with the air, actually that will become vinegar. So for avoiding that, when we are making wines, the wine companies are adding sulfur dioxide inside that. So the sulfur dioxide will give a foam on top of the fermentation liquids. This is usually called flours. So that will avoid the contacts with the air. So that will prevent the further fermentation. There will be another question will come under in mind automatically when we are talking about the wines, that is, can we make the wines with other fruits like apple, mangoes or pineapples? Obviously we can make the wines with the other fruits, but those wines are usually called the name of the fruit, the fruit wines. Okay, for example, if the wine is made with the apple, we are calling apple wines. If we are making the wines with pineapple, we are calling pineapple wines. Traditionally, only the grape wines are called wines. Next, we are moving to types of wines. Wines are majorly classified into 4 categories, which are still wine, sparkling wine, fortified wine, and aromatized wines. So these 4 are the major categories in the wines. First, we move to still wines. Still wines are the wines usually called table wines too. Those are available in 3 kinds of colors: red wines, rose wines, and white wines. Still wines are the largest category. The alcohol strength may be between 9 to 15% by volume. Next, we'll move to sparkling wines. Sparkling wine is a wine with significant levels of carbon dioxide in it, making it fizzy. For example, we can consider champagnes, cavas. So these sparkling wines we can make in different methods. Method traditionally is one of the best method for making the sparkling wines. This method is commonly using for making champagnes and all. That is actually the second fermentation is happening inside the bottle. So this method will trap the carbon dioxide inside the bottle itself. The next method is Charmat method, that is a tank ferment method. Again, 2 more methods are there. Carbon dioxide injection methods, QV closes. So these are the different methods using for making a champagne or a sparkling wines. The sparkling wines have usually an effervescent nature. That's why we are calling these wines are sparkling wines. Commonly, which is serving as a throughout meal wines, or we can serve these wines as a occasion wines, or we can serve this as a dessert wines too. The taste of these sparkling wines is vary from sweet to dry. The dry sparkling wines are commonly called brut, and the sweet sparkling wines are commonly called dukes. Commonly, the sparkling wines are served in very chilled, nearly 7 degrees Celsius. Next is fortified wines. Fortified wines such as sherry or port or madeira have been strengthened by the addition of alcohols, usually a grape spirit. Commonly we can use brandy or cognacs for strengthen this kind of wines. The alcoholic strength may be between 15 to 22 percentage by volume. We already mentioned right now the examples of fortified wines, that is the Sherry, Port, Marsala or Madeiras. These are the examples for fortified wines. A fortified wine is a delicious, viscous wine based sipping treat that is often enjoyed as a drink before or after the dinner. Next, we are moving to aromatized wines. The wine that has been flavored with herbs, spices, fruits, or other natural flavorings and then fortified with the natural spirits. This kind of wines are called aromatized wines. The best example is vermouth is one of the best example for the aromatized wine. This kind of wines commonly having as a aperitif. Then we are moving to our next topic, which is called wine grapes and table grapes. We all know that we need a grape for making a wine. So there are basically two kinds of grapes, wine grapes and table grapes. There are some difference in wine grapes and table grapes. So we'll first look at the grape which is going to make a wines, which is commonly smaller in size, which have a seed or pips, yield of 3 to 5 kg per vines, a thick skins, highly acidic and higher percentage of sugar inside that, more juice, less pulp. So these all help for making a wine in a best quality. But there are some difference in the table grapes. Table grapes are usually bigger in size and usually seedless with a thin skin and less acid, lower percentage of sugar, less juice and more pulp, yield of 6 to 12 kg per vines. Then we move to the parts of the grapes. So usually the grapes have a stem. We all saw that what is grapes. We had already the grapes. So we know that what are the parts. The grapes has usually a stem, then which have a skin and have a pulp inside that, and pips. Pips is we can call seeds, and the booms. So these are the major parts of grapes. So first we look at the skins. The skins are actually giving the color to the wines. Skins contains coloring agents, coloring pigments, then aroma components, flavoring agents and tannins. When we are putting the skin inside the wines, when you are making the wines, that will give the color to the wines. Next is bloom. Bloom is actually the outer surface of the grapes. We might be saw that sometimes the whitish cloudish skins on the top of the grapes. So that is called bloom. The bloom is actually a kind of yeast. There are two types of yeast we can found on the bloom, that is wild yeast and wine yeast. Both will help for making a wines. These kinds of the yeast are working with the sugar and making the alcohols. So bloom is most important when the wine makings. And the stems and the pips. Commonly these two facts we will not use for making a wine, but the grape seeds oils are commonly available in the stores. So that is using for face creams or the massage oils, or we can use as a glycerin, and sometimes we can use for the cooking too. And the major content of grapes are pulp. The pulp or the flesh contains juices. That juices is giving the body to a wine. If you peel the skins of either a green or black skin grapes, the color of the flesh is generally the same. So how the wines are getting the color then? The skins are giving the color to the wines. We had a discussion about rosé wines and red wines and white wines. So there will be a question that can we make a white wine with the red grapes? Obviously we can make a white wines with the red grape varieties. Only one thing that we have to remove the skins before we are making a white wines. Now how we are making a rosé wines? Rosé wines, for a certain period of time we will put the skins inside the fermentation process. Then we will remove it. So like that the rosé wines are getting the color of the pink colors. And there are different varieties of grapes. More than hundreds of varieties of grapes are all around the world. For examples, the white grapes, Pinot Grigio, Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, Moscatos, Saint-Emilion, Viognier, Chardonnay, and there are a few examples for the red grape varieties are Pinot Noir, Merlot, Sangiovese, Nebulos. So these are, you will get more than 100 varieties of grape varieties when you're serving the nets. Okay, I just add on a few varieties only here. Then next we are moving to the factors which are affecting the quality and the style and price of the wines. First point, environment factors. Climate and weather, temperature, sunlight, soil, species of grapes. 5 major points will come under any environmental factors. First we'll discuss about the climate and the weather. Commonly, the grape wines need a cold temperature in between 16 to 23 degrees Celsius temperatures, and the night should be more cold and the daytime it should be warm temperatures. As we know that most of the grapes are grown in the cold countries like France, then Italy and Germany, Spain, and even in India. If you found, we can found that most of the wineries are there in Nasik, then near to Bangalore, okay, and Himachal Pradesh. So because of the climates, usually the wines require a cold climate in between 16 to 23 degrees Celsius every day, and we need nighttime cold temperatures and daytime warm temperatures. Even the soils, there are some specialty in the soils. For growing a better quality grape wines, we need a soft alluvial soils and the species of the grapes which you are going to use for the wines. So these are the environmental factors which are affecting a best qualities of wines. Next, the viticulture practices. So there is a point came viticulture. Viticulture is actually a science and process of cultivation of wines, or it is an agriculture process of wines. Most of you saw that the vineyards, which is commonly so in abroad like wine making countries, we can see that the wines are in a straight lines, a drizzling style. The specialty of the drizzling style is especially the grapes will get a sunlight direct to the grapes. And next point is pruning. Pruning will affect production of grapes. If you are cutting the leaves, that will also give more sunlight to the grapes. So that type of management is called canopy management. Then the harvestings. Usually the harvesting can be done by two methods, either mechanical or hand pick methods. Commonly most of the wineries are using hand pick method because the wine enologists know which grapes can be harvested right now, which is the best one for the wines. So when the grapes become properly ripened, the winemakers will go to the vineyards and they will pluck the grapes and it will move to the wineries for making the wines. Next is vinifications. Vinifications, I think we already discussed what is vinification. Vinification is actually a science and process of making a wine. So there are a few factors which is affecting best qualities of wine under vinifications. Those are oxygen management, sulfur management, aging and maturation. So for preventing the over fermentation of the grape juices, we are using sulfur dioxide inside the fermentation tanks for stop the further fermentation. If we are giving more fermentation, over fermentation, what will happen? Automatically the wine become more acidity and that will become convert into vinegars. So we want to avoid those. For that we are adding sulfur dioxide inside the wines. And aging and maturing, commonly the aging and maturing is done in a wine cellars in oak barrels. So wineries, wine shippers or winemakers know the best aging or the best maturation times for their wines, and blend masters are there in the wineries for blending their wine. So these are the factors will come under in vinification. So these are the basic factors which will affect the wine taste, a better qualities of wine taste. Then there are some factors which are affecting the pricing of wines. So first we discussed about the major factors related to the production, the climates, the vinifications or the viticultures, okay, environmental factors, these are we discussed. Then the next point, the major factors that affect the price of a wine, the packing, transportations, distributions, sale tanks, market forces, these are the factors which are affecting the price of a wine. We can discuss about the serving temperatures of wines. we can have a look of this chart which I gave right now here. Okay, sparkling wines. Sparkling wines should serve on the temperature between 3 to 7 degrees Celsius. The 7 is actually an ideal temperature for serving as sparkling wines. If you are serving as sparkling wines, we should keep this wine bottle, the sparkling wine bottle, inside the wine chiller or ice buckets. Then we have to open this wine cork and we have to serve to the glass. Commonly, the wine flutes and champagne flutes or champagne saucers are commonly using for serving champagnes or sparkling wines. But most of the guests, most of the people prefer to have the champagnes or the sparkling wine inside a champagne flutes or a sparkling wine flutes. The reason is that the flutes will retain the carbon dioxide inside the effervescent nature will retain inside the wine glasses for a longer time rather than a champagne saucers. So because of that, most of the people prefer to have their champagnes or sparkling wine inside a champagne flutes. Then next is red wines. Red wine has to be served within a temperature of 12 to 18 degrees Celsius. Based on bold red wines or light red wines, the temperature can be vary. Okay, the light red wines can be served in between 12 to 15 degrees Celsius, and the bold red wines can be served 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. Commonly, the people are telling the red wines are serving in room temperatures, where the room temperature of France, not in India. Okay, so if you are serving in India, the red wines, we have to keep it in a fridge and we have to serve it. We have to maintain the temperature in between 12 to 18 degrees Celsius. White wines. The rose wines has to be served in a cold temperature 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. 8 to 7 is the ideal temperature for serving rose wines, and the white wines has to be served in between 8 to 12 degrees Celsius. 12 is actually an ideal temperature for serving white wines. Then there are some certain golden rules for serving the wines. Okay, as you know that the red wines has to be served along with the red meats, and the white wine has to be served with the white meats, and the dessert wines has to be served, the sweet wines has to be served with the sweet foods, and the rosé wines and sparkling wines we can be served throughout the meals. If you are serving more than one kind of wine with the meal, light wines before heavy wines and dry wines before sweet wines, drink lesser wines before the better wines. Next, we are moving to food and wine pairing basics. There are some basics. Okay, I am giving only one basics here. The wine should be more acidic than the food. The wine should be sweeter than the food. The wine should have the same flavor intensity as the food. Red wines pair best with bold flavored meats. That means the red meats like beef or pork or lamb. White wines pair best with fish or chickens. Those are the white meats. The bitter wines, commonly the red wines, that will best balanced with the fat foods. So in this session I try to convey a few of my knowledge about the wines in a short span of time. I hope that most of you understood. If you have any comments or you need further explanations, you can contact me through this YouTube, or you can contact me through our websites. Thank you. Have a nice day.